Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 51 of Two Amazon Sellers and a Microphone. Today, Chris and I have a special guest on with us, Hannah Giro from PR Brand Marketing. Hannah, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me here, Dustin. Chris.
Oh, yeah. We're glad to have you on the show. Glad to have you. Tell us a little bit before we get started. Are you located in New York?
Yes, and Brooklyn. Most of the sellers apparently live in Brooklyn.
It's a big area.
I claim to fame on Amazon.
Yeah, well, Chris and I talk to Amazon sellers all the time, and it does seem like a lot of them are in the Brooklyn area.
Yeah.
It's a hot spot. Well, cool. Well, before we get started, you want to give us just a little background? How did you get involved in the Amazon space to begin with?
Sure. So I actually worked with a bunch of private label sellers while I was actually in college. I graduated with a degree in marketing management. And so I worked for sellers for like a year. It was really nice, getting to know the products. But at some point, I felt like it was very repetitive, working with the same brand continuously. And also, I noticed a lot of sellers lacked marketing. So one day I had an idea, you know what? I'm going to start my own brand on Amazon. And I love the branding, love the packaging aspect, logo, all that good stuff. Two things I did not like. Number one, dealing with overseas, with Chinese, because you have to work at night, and also communicate with them and get your shipping goods, all that. And also what I didn't like was just posting things on Amazon and keeping track with all that. But I really love the marketing and branding aspect. So figured, you know what, let's start a marketing company. And I never thought it would get to where it is today. So I'm completely really grateful and all that.
And what year was that? Where were we at on the year?
Let's see. The company's been around for 4 years. Well, we just are starting our 4th year. I was in college in 2012. I probably was around that time. So throughout those years, basically.
Okay, gotcha. That's good to hear. So obviously, we had 2020 was kind of a bad year for a lot of people, and so, but we've seen a big increase in e-commerce sales. Like Amazon sales have been going up, sellers have been seeing their sales go up. What was your year like for 2020? When did you start to see a surge, or did people pull back a little bit because they wanted to maybe keep the money a little bit tighter in their business? What was 2020 like for a marketing company like yourself?
So let's start from January. January was perfect, no difference whatsoever. And then I remember in February, early February, this client was like, listen, I have these goods that I need to take pictures of, graphics, listing, and all that. I'm like, hey, what's the product? He's like, face masks. He's like, this is going to be the hottest thing ever. I was like, 1 second, face masks? Who? He's like, look at China. I'm like, okay, but that has nothing to do with us. We're in America. COVID, we heard about it like that. Fine. All of a sudden, I start seeing more and more face masks and hand sanitizer. Another client came in out, and then during March, that's when all of a sudden, that's it. Everyone knew about face masks, hand sanitizers. So that I definitely saw an increase on. So we started doing a lot of packaging for these products, labels. And what I did see also was for plan of actions. I would say I did probably 15 plan of actions for people that are selling above market value and all that. So that I definitely saw an increase with that. But a lot of sellers, a lot of new sellers actually came about towards the end of 2020, I would say Q3 even. So that's how the Amazon industry definitely grew that way.
Yeah, and those plan of actions, touch on that a little bit. What for some sellers, I don't even know what that is. So what happens there? Why would somebody need a plan of action?
Okay, good question. So when it comes to plan of actions, this is when someone created did something wrong. If there's a bunch of different people use, let's say for example, people are selling expired products on Amazon that are the date is over 100, it's less than 180 days before it's expired. So Amazon's going to send them a notice. Someone is selling defective products. now a lot of people are selling used sold as new. So I would say every like few months, Amazon comes up and says, you know what, now we're going to clear our Amazon cache and see who is violating Amazon's rights. So I would say there was like an authentic, but price gouging was a lot during COVID.
Yeah, for sure. People were raising their prices on essential needs.
Right.
I even think there's some lawsuits out there now. But now now we're in 2021. What are you seeing now? Are people, positioning themselves differently? Are they more focused on, trying to liquidate those products now because the market's so saturated? What are you seeing to start the year?
So right now, I see a lot of people are coming up with new products. So people are doing a lot of research and seeing what exactly is making money. I feel like from my clientele, at least, most people are realizing, okay, product is really like a hit. Let's spend more time and money and brand ourselves. So we've done quite a few like logos and packaging. You'll realize that they have to stand out there. They have to focus on branding because otherwise it's just another product out there on Amazon.
Yeah, you make a good point. And we haven't even really touched on that. You have a ton of services like on your site. I'm looking at your site now, prbrandmarketing.com for anybody out there. But you have a lot of offerings. Touch on some of your services. Like what are, you got started, what are some things you got started with? You're adding more, I'm sure. But yeah, you just feel free to touch a little bit on some of the services that you do offer.
Sure. So one of our most popular services is Amazon listings. And we are like a one-stop shop when it comes to private label sellers. So we would do like the photography, take pictures of the product. Then we would add graphics. Our designers are super talented. They're they focus more on manipulation because it gets really expensive to hire models and stuff. So everything's like done through Photoshop. We have writers that specifically work on content, like the title, the bullet points, the product descriptions, the search terms, keywords, all that. And in addition to that, also enhanced brand content. So the EBC and the graphics.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So that's like when we deal with so that's that. But like when it comes to like an Amazon seller, like when people always ask like what should he focus on when writing a listing, there's 3 major points. Number 1, you want to make sure that it's aligned for Amazon. So it follows the algorithm, the A9 algorithm for Amazon. So it has all the search terms and keywords so people can actually find you organically. In addition, it should tell the customer exactly what the product's all about. So all the features, what differentiates that product. And lastly, it should really also compel the person to buy the product. So with sales, use different like verbiage so people can like add to cart and stuff.
So I'm a seller. Dustin's a seller. We've got our listings created. We've done the titles. We've got good images. We've got the bullet points. What is the next step for marketing? What should we now be focused on? Because we're doing PPC. We got the images. We got the titles, bullets. All that stuff's EBC. We got all that. What would you recommend we kind of position ourselves next? Should we do some off Amazon marketing? Do we need to do some influencer marketing? Where are you seeing sellers after they are at that stage? What's the next thing they're doing?
So a lot of people want to now keep their customers, especially if your products are repeats. So a nice way to increase reviews is to have like a product insert, ask for an honest review. So it like doesn't violate Amazon's terms and conditions. And then you can always use like a promo code. So people like a QR codes do really well these days. I was actually discussing it last night on Clubhouse, which is like the hottest thing.
Yeah, I've been trying to get on that thing. I'm waiting for an invite.
Really? So now hit me up afterwards. I'll send you an invite.
Okay. All right.
So there was like a bunch of different sellers on one of the groups last night, and Bradley from Helium 10, we were discussing it like so saying like in regards to QR codes, a lot of people are doing it and they're actually scanning people. And like I heard this trick from someone. If you put a QR code on the insert, you can connect them to Linktree. Are you familiar with Linktree?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So you can like get like reviews. So it's a specific link for reviews, for websites, customer service, and just like a nice organized way to get people to leave reviews and to communicate with them. And you can always add a promo code. This way you can drive traffic to your website and so forth.
I like that. So let me go through the cycle. I get a product insert. I put a QR code on it. From what I've been always doing or been going through is that QR code then opens up Facebook Messenger to get them to subscribe to Messenger. Where this is different is this is going to open up a link tree and give them options on like to either visit your site, contact us, join our email list. Am I right there?
Correct. You got it. You got it. Simple as that.
That gives them more options. So if they don't have Messenger, you're probably going to capture that contact information a little bit more accurately or better because you're not limit them in on Facebook. So once they commit to, let's say they visit your site, this is where you can go down a rabbit hole. Once they visit your site, if you're running Facebook ads, you're retargeting them in Facebook feed, but you're also getting them to maybe enter their email address on your site. And then you can also, send them an email to promote your other products. Am I right there?
You got it. Like email marketing, user manuals. I saw it used like to different like YouTube links, social media sites. It's endless with how much you can actually gather from that QR code.
I'm gonna have to try that because I've been going straight Messenger, and if I could, direct that traffic to a website or email list or VIP section on Facebook, whatever, I think that'll be a little bit more better.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think it's interesting because a lot of people don't realize, when you sell on Amazon, that customer is not yours. You really can't keep marketing to them. And so what you're talking about is the ability to take that traffic from Amazon and convert them into your customers for life through your own website. With what you're doing, how effective have you seen all this stuff for your clients? Are you seeing a big increase in their sales off Amazon now from these tactics?
Yeah. So actually, it's funny you're saying this. 2 days ago, a client shared with us that we actually use that same tactic in an Instacart. And he wanted to promote his user manual so people it was like a kitchen set and it was really complicated. There's like a lot of different parts. And he wanted to avoid negative reviews because a lot of people are just contacting Amazon saying it's like a really complicated. So he was able to do that through that QR code. And we were able to focus on gaining positive reviews, having negative reviews come to the seller directly versus Amazon. And he doesn't have a website yet. So right now, it wouldn't work for him. But if you have your own website, definitely, it's a nice way to gain customers for life. I would say, let's say if your product is like vitamins, things that people buy consistently and it's repeat orders, that would do really well for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ordered my vitamins on Amazon, and the last one I got, I don't know if this even violates the Amazon's rules.
I'm sure it does.
It has a giant coupon on the packaging right there on the label to go to their website, and you're going to get $7 off the next order from their website. But that's the game now. I mean, for people that are looking to diversify, to make sure that they maintain their customers that they've acquired through Amazon and be able to remarket to them. And like Chris said, when you launch new products, the ability to just send out to that email list is huge. It's really important.
Exactly.
What about other types of marketing? Like what are you doing with the Facebook marketing or influencer marketing? Where do you see those as a part of someone's business right now?
So it's not a service that we offer right now. However, I do see a lot of people they hit really great influencers, especially nowadays on TikTok. It's like the hottest thing, and it's done so well. I feel like on Instagram, it's like people put stories and they promote a product, but here it's like they utilize the product so well. So it's almost like it doesn't look like an ad. It just looks like, oh my God, I need that because that TikTok influencer has it. So it's really important to have one specific, one good influencer could really change the whole the life of your business because they could promote it and do really well with it. At the same time, if an influencer says something negative about your brand, that could also be detrimental. So it's really, you want to have a good connection with your influencer specifically for your field.
that's interesting about TikTok, because I've done a lot of influencer marketing, but mostly through Instagram and YouTube. What about TikTok makes it so different as a platform where it's more effective?
So on TikTok, it gives you like the options of number one, who like people that you follow, and there's another like just like back in the day, like Instagram had like you can just follow random people, like see people's feeds. And now it's like more like it's saturated, there's a bunch of it. But here you could just literally scroll and like it's 15 seconds and it's just so engaging. They put like music on it. So it's like the new hype. People are like dancing. So if like, let's say, for example, someone's doing like, let's say morning vitamins or something. So someone's like dancing and using the vitamin and like promoting and then like showing it for a second. And all of a sudden like people are just saying, this works so well. And there's comments. So I feel like it's more engaging. It's like how Instagram used to be. Yeah, like a couple of years back.
I'm not in TikTok at all, so this is all over my head.
There's so many apps. There's so many apps. Like, yeah,
I'm stretching it to join Clubhouse. So,
Clubhouse it's amazing. It's amazing.
Let's talk about that. Tell us, because I know it's kind of new and a lot of people are trying to join it. It's on a wait list and you got to get an invite and stuff. From what I've heard, it looks like just like a big like social gathering, like that's online. Just from what I gather from it. What exactly is this Clubhouse?
All right. So think about, first of all, let's discuss the marketing for Clubhouse. It's a secluded group of people that are connected, specifically an audio, and just hearing from great minds. So now you want to get on because it's like putting a candy next to a child and saying you can't have it. And now the child wants that candy and is going to do whatever it takes to get it. So you're on a wait list. So now finally you have someone that's going to accept you or give you an invite. You're finally there. Now you're going to spend time, understand it more, and get on it. Now there's different groups, different clubs, and every room is discussing different topics. Let's say for e-commerce, Amazon, motivation, you name it. And there's like Damon from Shark Tank was on it, Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, like a bunch of great people are constantly on it, and just free advice. And people are genuinely want to help. Like let's say if you heard something great, you could just reach out to the person and then they really want to help you and put you on that right track.
Yeah. So it's like a Q&A. Like if I had a question and Grant Cardone's in it, he can answer it.
So he can. So there are moderators you have to kind of raise your hand, and then they kind of pick on you, like almost like the class type of idea. Once they pick on you, you're able to ask your question, and there's like a few moderators on that specific club. So you can say, you know what, this person has experience, let's say on Amazon, so I want to direct the question to them. This person has experience in this category or whatever it is. So you can just ask the questions and they answer.
I'm excited to try it out. I've been hitting up people on Instagram like, hey, you got an invite?
Go for it. You know what? Send me anything and I'll definitely get you in.
All right, good. I appreciate it.
But the thing is, it connects to your Instagram as well for messaging. Like, I find it kind of annoying because I don't want random people to message me on Instagram because I feel like, like that was my last thing resort as far as like what I kept private. But you can't actually, when you want to connect to someone, you have to just send a message on Instagram and they'll just respond to your messages there. You can, it's like almost like LinkedIn with like having a full bio about what you do, what makes you so special. And you're not promoting your brand. You're really promoting yourself, your expertise, what makes you different than the next person. No one cares about the job like they carry. You're not selling your services. You're selling yourself, really.
It's almost like it's a live podcast. Like you're just kind of like what we're doing here, but a different platform where you're just kind of on and people can ask questions and go from there.
Exactly.
I like it. I'm going to be all about it.
Yes. You know what? I feel like I always tell people, like, once you get on, you're spending 3 hours consistently just listening to other people, being amazed. And like at some point you're like, okay, you know what? I got to go back to work. But it's pretty cool.
I like it. Okay. It's got a little off track there, but the Clubhouse is a big thing right now. People are talking about it.
Yeah.
So something to check out if you're out there. Check it out. Okay, so Amazon. We talked about a little bit what sellers should be doing. Focus on their listings, get their right titles, images. These are all things that you do. You have services for.
Exactly.
So they can contact you, and so if I'm a new seller, I got a sample, I got a product, I need to get a listing created. What's the best way to get in contact with you?
So the best way to contact us is through our website, www.prbrownmarketing.com, or my email, which is info@prbrownmarketing.com. What I would do is I would sit with the seller for, I would say 10, 15 minutes. I'll go through exactly what needs to be changed on their listing and show them different ways of how it could be better optimized during that consultation. And then we'll send them like a proposal, our portfolio, and we can discuss exactly what would be the next route on how to optimize their listing.
Very good. So you're going to create the listing, and then if I need images, do I need to send the product to
our office?
Your office? Okay. And then you'll take photos and go from there?
Exactly. So we have a photographer here on site. They'll just take the pictures for you. You deal with one project manager, who's sitting right next to me. And she will just connect you with the client. We have 4 graphic designers here. And this way we just make it a smooth and easy process, because obviously Amazon sellers are super busy and they just want things now.
And what about videos? Do you guys help sellers do videos as well?
So we help with PPC videos.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that, I would say, less than 30-second video you see on the actual Amazon page.
Mm-hmm.
When someone clicks on it, you'll see it. But the thing is, with these PPC videos, they only do really well if you have someone that knows how to manage it. We've done really great video for someone, but they didn't know the first thing about actually managing their PPC video. So it's really important to work with someone that knows how to do it. And so we would do PPC videos, but not like user manuals or anything like that.
Yeah, well, that's where Solozo comes in and managing those video ads. And we've seen video ads perform really well. Like you said, if they're managed right, they perform very, very well, because you can really differentiate yourself through video.
Exactly. Yes, it's also definitely. So then once they come to us, they'll go with you guys, and you guys do your magic there.
I guess just a couple things about just the listing in whole. From your perspective, what is the most important thing for a seller with their listing? I mean, there's so many things you can do to separate yourself. Obviously, Chris and I talk about images all the time. How important the image is, how important your title is, just of those things, and then video and all this, and then A+ content. In your experience, what's the most important of those? And in order, how would you rank the importance?
So first things first, you want to have a really good hero image, because that will attract this customer to your page. You also, the example I like to give is almost like, look at it into real estate, is having a home, like having an empty home and having a home that is staged with a bed, beautiful furniture, a nice painting job. All that only increases buyers and elevates and makes people want to buy your home much more. So the same goes with the listing. When you have really nice images, you have great content, that will sell more. So you can drive as much PPC traffic as possible, but if you don't have a good landing page, that's it. You lost the customer before they even get started.
That's a great point. That's the first thing when we're talking to somebody and they want to start running ads. We want to look at their listing, and if it doesn't look good, there's no way the ads. You're just going to burn money because your listing's not going to convert at the level you want. That's a great point. Yeah,
that's where we'll send them over to PR brand.
Exactly.
Hannah, figure this out over here. These sellers need some help.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, there's so much to it. I think when people are starting to sell, especially when you're starting to sell on Amazon, it's overwhelming. And you might think you can just throw up a picture, throw up a title, and it's going to start selling, but that's not the case. And there's so many things you need to do to your listing, all the things that we're talking about, and it takes someone with experience to do it right.
Yeah. So it's actually, people always say like, oh, I can have someone hired in-house to do it. Like they're always trying to like level the cost to see if it's like cheaper to hire in-house or hire like a professional. But then they realize, like I have a client actually that does over 40 million on Amazon, and they have, I believe it's him, and it's just a brand that they just put on their name on it. And they just hire us for all their listings. And I was like, one day I had a conversation with him. I was like, by the way, isn't it cheaper to hire in-house? Just out of curiosity, because you're sending us so much. He's like, Hannah, trust me, I did the math. And I realized it's much better to have a professional do it, less time, and I could just focus on sourcing versus, being tedious of like every small thing that needs to change.
You make a great point. Like some of these sellers will try to do it on the cheap, and they'll use. And we talk about Fiverr and we talk about Upwork. There's still good services on there, but there's if you cheap this out, you're going to be spending more time like trying to direct them in exactly what you want. And I've found that. So it's a lot easier just to be like, hey, here's my product. Here's a few of my keywords. You go with it. And I don't have to give you any direction. I don't have to give you like step-by-step on how to do it. I'd be willing to pay that. Like that's I'll pay it off. And I don't want to have to spend time on Skype, trying to teach you how to do everything with Helium 10 and all that stuff. Like it's better to hire that out and let somebody else manage it. And it's worth the cost because you're going to just spin your wheels and continue to pay and to go back and forth. It just takes a lot of time. So I'm with you. You got to hire it out, and sometimes it's worth it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where we come in.
Exactly.
We don't want to deal with the Chinese thing. We don't want to deal with like they're selling that. That's their job. But like we love the marketing. And I feel like it's just a great opportunity to work with so many different products and brands. And at this point, it was like, hey, there's not one category that we didn't come across. And people were like, oh, I don't know if you ever. I'm like, yes, we have. Don't worry. But yeah, it's all good.
Well, this has been great. I appreciate you coming on. I already shared the link in the description. I put it on here again. People want to get in contact, simply just go to their website, prbrandmarketing.com. There's a contact us button at the top. Simply click on that and you'll be given where you can submit a form. And Hannah and her team will reach out to you. So they got a ton of services on there. I just looked at their portfolio earlier today. This looks a little bit upgraded, so that's nice to see. A lot of different features here: storefront, enhanced brand content, brand deck, images, inserts, listings. So there's a bunch on here to check out. But yeah, go to their website, prbrandmarketing.com. Even if you just have a question, you can simply contact them and they'll put you in the right direction. So if you got something you're stuck on, definitely reach out to her team.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure being here, and thanks for the opportunity.
Dustin, you got anything?
No, that was great, Hannah. Thanks for taking the time. There's so many new sellers that listen to our podcast, and Hannah's going to be a great resource for all of you guys. Please go to prbrandmarketing.com. Hit Hannah up for that 15-minute consulting call so you can get started with your images and everything else on your listing looking great. Again, you can follow us at the Solozo page on Facebook. We go live with all of our podcasts on Facebook. You can also follow the Solozo page on LinkedIn. You can follow the Solozo channel on YouTube. And you can see our podcast on all the channels out there, iTunes, Spotify, everything. So please like the podcast so you can listen to more episodes like this. Hannah, it's been great. Thanks so much for coming on, and we'll have to we'll get you back on another time soon.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you. Wishing you guys all great year.
Thanks, Hannah. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.